So my little jokers, it does seem that Borderlands 4 was actually announced at the Gamescom 2024 event. And what you will probably be seeing during this video is clips, if not just the actual teaser trailer on loop. I don't fucking know what I'm gonna do yet. But what I am gonna try to do with this video is analyze and give my thoughts on the entire trailer. But before that, I'm gonna be honest, there's really not that much going on here. It's a teaser trailer. It's not really meant to show too much. It's meant to get discussion going, meant to kind of give a little tease of what's going on, as is the name. Really, all I can say for sure is that this is absolutely going to be covering the war storyline that was set up at the end of the pre-sequel. I mean, with the fire and fucking brimstone falling from the sky, it is definitely some warlike imagery, while this isn't directly related to the war, as I'll talk about in a moment. I do think this is like subtle confirmation of that, but that's not really news. We've known that since BL3. Gearbox has stated previously that BL3 was kind of meant to open up and expand the universe to set up for 4, which would be taking on that war storyline. It is nice to get more confirmation that this is the case, but again, this isn't really anything too new. Now let's start at the beginning, where we see Elpis being zapped on into some separate area by Lilith after she teleports it at the end of BL3. This does pretty much confirm that Elpis still exists and Lilith is still alive. I actually think you can kind of see her in this clip. There's that little streak along the side of Elpis, and I kind of think that might be her kind of zapping it while she was flying towards it. But at the end of BL3, there's tons of things that was at least hinting at, if not outright confirming, that Lilith was still alive. It was actually more of a theory that Lilith was dead, with more confirming that she was probably still out there somewhere. And I do think that this means that at some point in BL4, we will probably be finding Lilith, which my personal opinion on is I actually think we were better without her, at least for some time. I feel like there wasn't too much more to do with her character in the current state of the story, and I think it would have been best if that was kind of saved for a later date, but we're not going to get into that here. Elpis is crashing through some shit, seeming to kind of crash into space itself, which is interesting. It's almost looking like it's transcending a dimension, as you see that it kind of opens up into a different planet. Now, this is a planet we've never seen before. It's very green, very lush, and you can see the architecture is, again, something we've never seen before. It looks almost like the skyscrapers of Promethea, but not quite, with those often being more rounded and this being very angular. What's also very interesting is that the rest of the planet seems very barren aside from these structures. So this does seem like it's going to be a pretty interesting location, and again, something we've never seen before. But really, what I do find to be the most interesting here is, again, the Elpis kind of tearing through space to open up a rift into this area. It does definitely seem like there's either some sort of dimensional travel or wormhole or some sort of shit going on here. We've been told that Necrotafeo is the Iridian homeworld, and while that probably is the case, we know that Iridians no longer really have a home because they've been wiped the fuck out. But maybe this could be hinting that they've only been wiped out from our reality. Maybe they exist in some sort of pocket dimension and that they had the technology to transfer themselves to. And maybe Lilith has now unlocked her siren powers to be able to transcend dimensions in the same way, to literally tear a fucking hole into space and travel through it, or I mean, bring an entire fucking moon through it. But really, who fucking knows? Now, what's also interesting is the hand that picks up the mask. Due to the storyline being covered, it could definitely make sense that this is a Guardian, but while the forearm looks kind of Guardian-like, it looks more robotic in the actual hand area. And especially with the Guardians that we saw in BL3, they look nothing like this. If anything, this would be more similar to the Guardians from the previous games. So this is either some new character, a returning character with a robotic arm, or potentially just something to look cool for the trailer. Now, at the end of the trailer, we get a few flashes of things, mostly just Iridian writing, but there is also this face. And if I had to guess, using the minimal context that we have in this trailer, this is probably the guy that picked up the mask and has a robotic arm. The question is he going to be a Vault Hunter? Is he going to be the main villain of this game? Who is going to be the main villain of this game, if there is one person, that is? Have you seen this man, is really what it comes down to. Now, I do actually find it pretty interesting that Borderlands 4 is being announced at this time. I'm not too surprised by the 2025 release date. I've always speculated it would be around 2025 or 2026. But previously, all the games have been announced about 6 months in advance, with a release date sometime around fall. which of course would put the announcement usually around the spring or early summer. With them announcing now, there's really two ways that it could go. Either they're announcing super fucking early and we are still gonna get the release around the fall a year out from now, or we're gonna be getting the game earlier in the year and it's still gonna follow that around 6-month time frame from announcement to release, and we could be seeing this at the start of summer 2025. But I do want to just be clear again, everything in this video is 100% speculation. There is nothing else that has come out at this time aside from this teaser trailer. If there's any updates beyond that, I will probably make another video and keep you guys updated. But for now, that's about it. I'd love to hear any of your theories or comments on what we've seen here today. I mean, hey, if this is your first time coming around here, maybe stick around to get more updates or to check out the massive fucking backlog of videos I've got. But yeah, that's gonna about do it for this one. See you, fellas.